What's going on, everybody? It's Robert Anthony, and today I'm coming to you shirtless and scruffy because I want you to listen up because I got some important things to say. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people have been asking me what my life in Dubai is like right now, how this coronavirus has affected our jobs as international flight attendants, and I wanted to talk about the importance of staying home. Right now, we are in a pandemic, and it is our responsibility as human beings to put aside our ego and listen to these instructions and do our duty as citizens of the world. If we don't do this, this is gonna drag on way longer than it needs to. We need to kind of rip the Band-Aid off, right? Let's take this seriously for 14 days, and hopefully we can all get back to normal and this can become under control. Otherwise, it's gonna drag on and trickle on for a really long time, and that's what I'm nervous about in the US, because it's very hard to tell people, you need to stay inside, don't go outside, don't talk to people, don't have a party, don't do this, don't do that. There are gonna be those that listen and those that don't. And I understand some people feel like maybe they're not affected, but the bottom line is this is the only way to contain this. Now, I remember when this virus first came out, we received news of it. I was in Japan at the time on vacation with one of my friends. And then and there, I thought, wow, this is gonna spread really fast if these airlines, especially the international airlines, don't stop flying. But of course, they're gonna continue flying. At the end of the day, we can't really blame them, right? It's a business. Nobody is running a business to be the most ethical person in the world. They're running a business to make profits. So it's very hard to say that they should have stopped sooner. What should have happened is the governments should have taken more of a firm stance. And as we all know, there were reports that President Trump even did get intelligence about this coronavirus happening, and he was very slow to take it seriously. But I'm not here to make a political video. You know, every 100 years we have some sort of pandemic like this that has really affected society. But back then it was usually contained because we didn't travel so much. And if it did spread, it was because somebody maybe got on a ship and then went to a different country. But now with international travel, obviously in one day you can be in Australia and then next go to the US. And we've all seen the graphs of how quickly this can spread. So this is exactly what happened. And I have to say it is a weird feeling knowing that you are employed by an organization that did help to spread this. Some people that run these businesses will have to look back in their own life and, answer to those questions on why they kept the business going, why they didn't take it more seriously. But it doesn't matter because that's in the past and this is where we are now. So all we can do now is try our best to look at the bigger picture and stop the spread of this. To be honest, I feel really safe living in Dubai because if you look at countries like China, like Italy, where the police and the government had a real say in locking these people down, the cases dropped significantly. And that's why I'm worried about the US. So please don't wait until there's some executive order from the president that you have to stay inside, which I doubt is even gonna happen. Now, a lot of my friends have asked me, what is the lockdown like in the UAE? What is Dubai like? What's going on there? So I will tell you guys, it did come on kind of slowly, not as fast as other countries, and it was more incrementally. Once all of the countries started closing their borders and we started flying less because there were less passengers flying, then the first thing that happened was the government announced that all the gyms were gonna close. Fair enough, gyms a really easy way to spread germs, lots of people are in contact, body fluids everywhere, so I thought that was a smart move. But we were still allowed to go outside, life was still running as normal, people were going to the office, etc. Then shortly after the next week, it began to get a little more serious, public schools started to close, restaurants were still open, but they closed a lot of public beaches and public parks. And just a few days ago, we got a serious mandate to really stay home. We got an emergency alert on our phone saying between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. you're not allowed to go outside. Over this weekend, there's people that are gonna be sanitizing the metro. There's gonna be no public transportation. There's even pictures of drones flying through the streets and spraying I don't know what. So to be honest, I feel really safe here because I think the government is taking a firm stance and it's gonna lessen the amount of people that contract this virus much quicker than in other places where people aren't taking it seriously. There was even a report of a social influencer that was jogging outside and she apparently, I don't know if she was fined or taken to jail, but because she was not only breaking the rules, she was kind of promoting on social media that you don't need to listen to these instructions, don't take it seriously. If you wanna go on a run, go on a run. And that's not the case here. You guys have to remember, at the end of the day, as cool and like Western as Dubai might seem, we're still in a country that doesn't necessarily have the same rights as the US. So if the government says you need to do something, I would listen to those instructions. There's even been like cop cars patrolling the streets on the megaphone saying, stay home, protect yourself. The Burj Khalifa, a lot of you know, has been lit up with hashtag stay home. So they're really taking this seriously, and that's why I think it's gonna be contained quite fast here. And we're gonna be able to get back to life as normal. I don't know if it's gonna be the same for a lot of my friends in the US. I know there's a lot of people that are losing income, maybe even losing their jobs, and it's a really, really scary time because who would have ever thought that we would be in a position in the world where we would literally be locked inside of our homes if it wasn't for something like a world war. I have to say I'm very grateful for my job right now. This airline did announce that we are not going to be flying for 2 weeks, so they've grounded all the flights. Now, this is mainly because we are an international only airline and all of the countries, for the most part, this month closed their borders. So there's really not much flying that we can do anyway. This is gonna kill a lot of airlines. A lot of people are gonna lose their job. Some airlines might not even recover from this. We might not even have certain airlines after this. We did get a memo from our president saying we're gonna have a reduced basic salary, but at the end of the day, that is much better than a lot of flight attendants I know who have either been forced on unpaid leave or they're not even sure if they're gonna have jobs. A lot of flight attendants that, I'm sure in the US were given job offers with the big airlines probably had those rescinded. People in training college, I don't know what's happening to them. So it's a really, really tough time for people in not only the aviation industry, but obviously hospitality, everything except probably tech. Those might be the only safe people because it's very easy to work from home. Everyone else, most jobs depend on people being able to interact with each other. To be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. As I said, we've only been told that we're grounded for 2 weeks, but I know that a lot of countries are not gonna open their borders for 4 to 6 weeks. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what's gonna happen in the upcoming months and how often we're gonna fly. I'm thankful I still have a job. I'm living in an apartment here in Dubai for free. I'm still getting most of my basic salary. There are some people that are not in that position, especially in the aviation industry. As I said, many people have lost their jobs. I do think as soon as some borders start opening up, we're gonna be flying really soon. So I appreciate all the concern, but I gotta tell you guys, I have it a lot better off than some of my colleagues in other airlines and other parts of the world. I think we'll be flying really soon to wherever we can. I do know that the US and Australia probably are not gonna be opened up until at least the end of April. So we're not gonna be flying as much as we are used to, but I do think we are gonna get back to work quite soon. Now, there is a silver lining to all of this. And as horrible as the situation is, it's always good to try and look at it from a different perspective and see what's the good things that can come from this. First of all, pollution, global warming. Imagine the impact that this is having on the planet. Right now, we have literally given our planet a chance to breathe, something it has not done for so long. Just think about how many airlines are not flying, how many cars are not on the road. I mean, just here in Dubai, because of this job, we have a bus route that runs 24/7. Every 20 minutes, there's a bus coming to my accommodation that goes to our headquarters. So there's about 22,000 cabin crew living here in Dubai that each have a bus system like that. So just that in itself, imagine how many cars are running constantly on the road just for that bus system. And then think at a bigger scale of the whole planet literally shutting down. I mean, this is gonna really, really do some great effects. I'm no scientist, but I'm really interested to see what they're gonna say comes from this 1 or maybe even 2 months basically off or having a reduced amount of carbon emissions and things like that. I'm really hoping it's gonna do some great damage control for the path that we were going down. Personal hygiene of everyone hopefully is gonna be improved, and hopefully we're not ever gonna see someone go to the toilet again in public and walk out without washing their hands. I think this made people really realize how much contact we have with surfaces and how easily something can spread and make you sick. Now, most importantly, inner work. This is the time you guys can do some inner work. I am so grateful for this time. I used to complain all day, every day, that I never had time to do anything on my to-do list, that I didn't have time for creative endeavors, for new hobbies, because we were flying so much. I mean, when you're flying 100 to 110 hours, that's a large chunk of your month. And then the days off that you have, you're really tired and quite lazy, and you're not really in the mood to force yourself to do something. Now we have this gift of time. So I think it's great because you can really work on all of these things that you have been wanting to do that maybe have been on the back burner and come out of this a better version of yourself. Another thing I think is positive is that communities are really coming together right now, and society as a whole is kind of realizing, wow, maybe we've been acting a little bit selfishly the past decade. I think this situation is going to make people really always kind of look at the bigger picture and kind of have a lot more empathy towards other people moving forward, I hope. So as I alluded to, this is the best time for you guys to set some goals. Use this time to work on all of those things that you've had on the back burner that you complained that you didn't have the time to do. When I was flying, I was always complaining that I never had the time to do anything, to work on myself, to tackle my to-do list. Well, we asked and the universe gave it to us. Again, change of perspective. I'm gonna share with you the 3 things that I wanna work on. The first is I wanna really use this time to reset my sleep pattern, reset my circadian rhythm. Obviously, being a shift worker, it's not a healthy lifestyle, especially when it comes to sleep. And my sleep habits are really, really terrible. So I wanna get on a good schedule and also have the time to kind of make a healthy pre-sleep ritual so I can bring that back into the odd shift timings once I go back to work to help myself get better sleep. The second thing I wanted to work on is some creative work. I wanted to use this time to read, do creative writing, work on my blogs that I never update, start actually vlogging and editing it and putting it out for you guys to see. I have so many files of footage that are sitting on my computer that I've never edited because I'm such a perfectionist. So that's why I decided, you know what, today I'm just gonna dedicate this day to doing this vlog, editing it, and get it up, done. And the last thing I wanna work on is my mental health. I've slowly started trying to meditate, and with this time, I really want to make a practice of doing it in the morning and at night because I've heard it really helps improve your sleep and your focus. So I'm going to really tackle this and try to make it a habit. As you all know, it takes some time to actually make habits stick in your life. So we have about 14 days now, so I'm hoping I can make it work, and it's going to really help me out, especially when it comes to the sleep. What are your 3 goals? Write them in the comments below. I challenge you to share them with the world, share them here with me, and really make sure you accomplish them during this time. Good luck sticking to them. I have faith in you. Stay healthy and stay positive, and we'll talk soon.